everybody, and welcome back to some more Stoneblock 4. Today, we are going to be getting into chickens. Not these chickens, no. Well, technically these chickens, but we are going to be getting into some resource chickens. Specifically, the mod called Roost's Ultimate, but I like calling them resource chickens because that's what they are. And this mod is actually relatively simple. For us to get started, we're actually getting started now because I didn't do anything in between episodes. All we need is to get the chicken stick, which is basically the chicken mod wrench. It's just an egg, a stick, and a feather. Now, I don't have any feathers on me at the moment, but luckily for me, I should, if I get the drop, only need to kill one chicken.
Nope.
I should only need to kill 2 chickens. There we go. Let's just go ahead and get this. Is this one of my other sticks? Okay, nope, because that would be in the storage system too, so I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. But there we go. Now we got the chicken stick, and I mean, look at that. Did its mouth just open? Oh my gosh, its mouth opens. Dude, I am the chicken wizard. Oh my goodness gracious. Alrighty, so now I should just need to right-click them, and they turn into handheld chickens. Now that we have ourselves our chickens, our first chickens, there's a couple things that we're gonna need to get. The first thing is going to be the roost, the place where the chickens actually rest. You rest in a roost. I'm gonna need more of these down the line, but for right now, this one should do plenty. So we can go ahead and put that there. See, I want to go with this because it looks cooler, but it's easier for me to see with this. So I'm gonna have to go for this one. All right, so now that we have our roost and our chicken, what we can then go ahead and do is put our chicken into here, and I guess then our seeds over there. However, we don't exactly have any way to, well, feed these chickens yet. Because firstly, for us to actually do anything with them, they're all going to need their own special seeds. Now, there's different tiers of seeds and all that kind of stuff. I need to go back down. That's the wrong area. And for us to get the basic ones, we're gonna need quite a few resources, namely a chicken soul. So the next thing that we're gonna need is this thing here called the soul extractor. The only thing I'm hoping is that it doesn't consume my chicken stick. It consumes the chicken stick. We need to prioritize the breeder, because if this is gonna start consuming the chicken sticks, I'm gonna need a lot of chickens. So I'm gonna need those guys in the breeding. So there we go. Now we can get ourselves another roost, which is everything we need for the breeder, which consumes the chicken stick, but not the chicken. I believe the breeder might also need seeds though. Oh, we're in some doo-doo. I might not have enough chickens. You know what? This is fine. So we've still got at least more than 2. What I can now do is I can send this chicken into here. It'll start extracting its soul. And now we've gotten a chicken soul, which, why can I eat the chicken soul? Why is there a food value? Do I want to? No, I don't want to eat the chicken soul. That's a step too far even for me. Now all that's left for us to do to get the tier 1 seeds is just get some normal seeds and some iron. It's all easy.
Later.
All right, I got all these, so now I've gotten the chicken seeds tier 1. I am fortunately able to twerk and grow them. So we can then get more seeds infinitely, and this goes for all tiers. And I believe that each tier will actually work for the previous sets of chickens. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'll go ahead and get rid of the hemp for now for my other week because I do still need food. So now that we've gotten the seeds though, what I can do is I can just put the seed down into there. I can put the chickens over here. And you can see, I'm pretty sure I switched this to normal. Oh, do I need to do it for each of them? Oh, I need to do it for each of them. Okay, well, as you can see, that space is then filling up as we are now getting another chicken. Doesn't look like they stack for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably a stat thing, but there we go. Now we've gotten ourselves our chickens. So we shouldn't need to worry about the feathers anymore. And in fact, there is a feather chicken that we're gonna need to get into in a second. But for us to get to that feather chicken, we first need to focus on the craftable chickens. Because before these, there are ones that we can craft. They're not too exciting, but they are all very easy. All we need to do is get these dye eggs. There's 16 in total, 1 for each dye color. So this is gonna be fun. I am going to leave a chicken in here with some of the seeds. So at least now if I run out of eggs, I don't need to worry about it. Now, unfortunately, the only dye I have at the moment is black dye, which is probably the most useless to me right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and make 4 black eggs. So let's just go ahead, grow this until we get a black chicken. Oh my goodness, look at him. He's so beautiful. Okay, and then with the black chicken, I believe he'll just give us straight black dye. Yeah, so once I get the dye chickens, I'll start then getting more of those dyes. So since every dye chicken is important in some way for some breeding somewhere, I am gonna want to get more of these dye chickens. And they are also important for the craftable chickens that we have over here, as I'm gonna need another tier 1 soul, and then also a bunch of the dye chickens for the lava chicken and the water chicken. Fortunately, the lava chicken is a quest reward that I already had, so yeah, there we go. We got this one. I am going to go ahead and get all the chickens. I'm going to get a couple of them for the breedings, and I will probably see you all in a few hours. Oh, hey, Luke.
20 minutes later.
Alrighty, I got a special chest for it, and I've gotten all of the dye chickens all ready and raring to go for all of this. Now that we've gotten those guys, the next step is resource chickens. Ones that'll actually get us things that are more useful than just dyes. And also, small recommendation, if anyone's trying to follow along with this for some reason, start with the primary colors, the colors that can merge into other colors to make the different dyes, and then work your way down. Also, with this flower, apparently called the other flower, because apparently this flower can be infinitely duplicated like this, and I can actually combine it with my dyes, and you'll see right here, this one dye turns into 3. Between those two, actually not a hard process. It only took me like 20 minutes. On to the resource. The first resource that we're gonna get is iron chicken, mostly because he's on the list, but also because the one resource chicken that I really want at this moment, the quartz chicken, is actually blocked behind the iron chicken. So for us to get him, we're gonna need a couple of different chickens as we go down the line. The earliest thing on this line is going to be the stone chicken, which is just a combination of the gray chicken and the water chicken. And I should only need 1 seed for this, so then we can go ahead and put that into there. The progress begins. It's a lot slower. Okay, so I can already see what's gonna happen. The further along in the breedings I go in tiers, the harder this is going to get. But there we go. Now we have ourselves our stone chicken. And then the next thing on the line is actually to combine this stone chicken with our gray chicken, so we don't need the water one for right now anymore. But here's the question. The stone chicken is a tier 2 chicken. Since that is the case, am I going to need tier 2 seeds to breed them? Okay, no. So I don't know if the type of seed matters for the breeding, or it's a matter of the lowest tier, both of which are possible. But there we go. Now we've gotten ourselves our gravel. Next, we need flint, which I believe is to, put that gravel with that gray. And then we can just go ahead and do this again. Yeah, I'm really just waiting for it to decide. I want to use a higher seed. These lower class seeds are too unbelievably common for my taste. But there we go. Now we've gotten ourselves our flint chicken. The next one is the real one that I've been wanting for a while, the feather chicken, which takes none of these chickens that we've used so far. We just need a chicken and a white chicken, which I know normal chickens are already white, but the white ones, which are made out of bones, actually makes us white dye. I don't know why it works like that, but it works like that. Which then gets us a feather chicken, who will start crapping out feathers. Then we need the bone chicken, who is made from the white chicken and the feather chicken. We already have a chicken made of bones, but apparently this one's different. But once we get the bone chicken, we should then have everything we'll need for the iron chicken, because now that we have you, we just need to mix bone with flint, and that should be what we need for the iron. And then I believe after that I'll need stone with the iron, and that'll get me the quartz. But now we're at multiple tier 2s, and it's not progressing. I knew this day would come, which means now we're going to need to upgrade to level 2 seed. Alrighty, I grabbed another stone chicken, so now I can go ahead and make myself a tier 2 soul, which is also edible for some reason. But now I can go ahead and combine all this together, and I can get myself my tier 2 chicken seed. Just like the first one, I can go ahead and just plant this one instead. And now we've got a stronger seed. We can go ahead and plant this in here to get ourselves our iron chicken. I'm actually gonna go ahead and make 2 of these because the iron is a tier 3 and so is the nether quartz. So to feed both of those guys, once I actually get the resources going, because remember, right now we're just making them, I still need actual resources from these guys, which means I'm actually gonna need to make the seeds more consistent. I'll get to that on my own time though. We're gonna need to upgrade to tier 3 seed. Now then, I'm going to take one of these iron chickens, and I am going to crush it down into its soul. I am also going to go ahead and grab everything else, but this is where this gets a bit complicated because one of the ingredients I don't have yet. Clayed glowstone. This is just a piece of clay and glowstone, but glowstone I haven't been able to get. However, there is fortunately a flower called a spark flower that I can craft into glowstone, and all it needs is me to bone meal the ground and some luck. So I've gotten that one. All I just need to do now is just take this over to my alloy kiln and just smelt both of those down, and it will be the most easy thing on earth.
You get the idea.
I've gotten the tier 3 seeds. Once again, the tier 3 soul was edible for some reason. Now we have ourselves our nether quartz chicken. So now that we've gotten all of these guys ready, the last thing I need to do is just set all of them up into their own roosts. I've gotten one for chickens already. So now I just need to go for the rest of these guys. And I mean, roosts, we all know how to make those. It's just a bunch of wood. And I'm gonna line all of them up in this room. I'm gonna line them up so that way they'll also have drawers to go out into. And we will see how this goes at the end product.
Much later.
All right, are you all ready to see it? Here they are. All of the chickens put into place, drawers configured, locked, and configured to my whole drawer network. That's twice the configured, but you know what? It's fine because there's two sorts of configuration going on. So we're configuring the configuration. It all makes sense. Trust me, I'm not speaking nonsense right now. But yeah, so here is everything. I've gotten all the dyes. I've gotten all the extra stuff. I've gotten quartz and iron into compacting drawers. I actually just took the iron drawer from over here just because, you know, that was just going to be two different places for me to pull iron from. So it didn't make any sense for me not to have it over there. Of course, I now also have two sources of gravel. That's neither here nor there. Also, apparently the stone chicken doesn't actually make me stone. It makes me this stone essence, which I can then craft into all types of stone. It's kind of cool. It actually looks really sick. So yeah, here we go. We've gotten all of the chickens all ready and raring to go. I've gotten all these things pulled with polar upgrades to pull things from the top, only to then realize that there was an output thing, which would output in any storage block below. So, yeah, I wasted a good 20 minutes on that. But I also got this thing here called the roost feeder. It wasn't too difficult to get. I just needed blocks of redstone, a block of diamond, and an ender pearl that I gotten from an enderman. And then I can just put seeds into here, and then it disperses it to all of these different guys. I had to configure a bunch of these things in here. I had to click these guys to check them off because they start off black. And then I had to take the seeds and then right-click them into these spaces so that way it knew what to do. Now, all of these guys are going to be capable of generating resources. The only thing that is holding me back is the generation of my chicken seeds. There are multiple ways to do auto farming, but I think I'm either going to do that in between episodes or I'm going to do that in the next video because there is technically special farmlands for just dire things, isn't there? Like, I can use the special goops and stuff, and I can get those kinds of things. Yeah, I can get primogel soil and blaze bloom. It all depends on the tier of alloy I have as a hoe. Either I'll do that in the next video, or I'll at least get the basics of the auto farm going. We'll see what happens. But for right now, we've gotten our chickens. We've gotten our resources, so there's only one thing left to do, and that is in relation to our questing ram. You might have thought that I was going to end this here, but no. I've actually realized something. Now that I possess all of the dyes, we are actually capable of fulfilling this questing ram's quest. All I'm going to need is just a butt ton of wool. Alrighty, so now that I've gotten all 16 wools, what I need to do is I need to take one of each and feed them to him. And look, he's gotten a little band now. Now, let's go for something a little bit more obvious. Let's go ahead and take a black one right here and make ourselves some black wool. Then we can feed him this. You can see he's got another stripe. I need to give him one of every single type of colored wool. All right, I got all the wools. So now I can go ahead and feed him green, red, light gray, magenta. Then we got that magenta, cyan, orange, brown. Then blue, light blue, yellow, and pink. Look how long he's getting. He's getting so long. Oh my gosh. And then lime and gray. And now the questing ram is completed. Dude, look at this. And I got a crumb horn. It makes sheep noises. Also, I get... Whoa. Oh, he gave me so much stuff. And also a bundle. Dude, okay, so now I can just go ahead and deposit all those blocks. And now I've also got a questing ram. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm beautiful. Look at me, brother. Look at me. I'm just like you now, but a little less gay. Oh my gosh. This is actually kind of cool. So I can have this on underneath my armor. Oh my gosh, I finally got to see you in your full glory. Right now, all I need to do is open up today's chance cube. Yes, it is that part for the show where I open a chance cube, risking my entire series for all your entertainment. Let's see what happens today. Nothing. Oh, did it bury me in sand? Wait, it turned all of the ground above me into sand. I feel like that's not enough sand for that to have been the case. Like, why is it such a deep hole? Okay, well, I'm gonna need to clean this up. Thanks, game. So did you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last Stoneblock 4 video where we got into some Ars Nouveau for our storage system. Bye-bye!